We're Chris and Hillary, and for 2 months we're exploring Turkey by bike. Stay tuned because in this video we'll find out what happens when we get caught wild camping in Turkey. We're trying to make it to Konya in 4 days so that we can eventually make it to Cappadocia because I really want to ride a hot air balloon.
All of a sudden the road that we were on disappeared and our map said keep going straight, but it was a construction site.
The road was a dam and a lake and flooded land.
And we kind of had to find our own way without any maps.
Hey Chris.
Hey Hillary.
Do we need to get gas? Did you promise me cookies that don't exist?
We'll find out.
Cookies.
We're biking around Lake Beysehir. It's flattish and there aren't many cars on this road.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
Nice.
And we are maybe thinking about trying to hit 80 kilometers today.
If we do, we get rewarded with a hotel in Beysehir.
Many towns, like small towns all across Turkey. The government provides lodging for teachers, but it's also open to regular travelers, and they are called öğretmen evi. It was really cheap. It was like less than half of the price of a normal hotel, and it had the best Wi-Fi we had found so far and a gorgeous view. Hey Chris, where are we?
We are in Beysehir, walking on the bike lane.
We were trying to find somewhere to eat lunch on Kamut's route that had the little symbol for ruins, and so we decided that we would check those out and maybe eat lunch there. And like there were ruins, there were like walls that were falling down, but also people lived there, like there were obviously people's houses like on top of them.
The next thing we knew, we were getting yelled at from one of those little houses.
Gelin, which means come.
We ended up with a garden tour, had tea, and broke a bunch of walnuts. It's hard to walk away from hospitality, or it's hard to excuse yourself.
Chris's pockets were completely full of walnuts. We biked like, I don't know, a few hundred meters just to like get to where no one can see us and offer us any more food or chai because it's very kind of them, but we also have to get going today. We now have finished our lunch and are going to enjoy the half kilo of baklava we bought last night because I forgot how to say quarter kilo. The end. We were looking around for a good campsite, but we weren't really finding anything, so we started heading up the hill, and eventually we got to these rocks that looked like maybe we could hide behind them and find a good place to camp, so we started setting up camp. We started hearing cowbells, and then around the corner came the cow herd, and he basically was driving his cows like directly through the spot that we were sleeping. And
go figure.
We asked him, can we camp here? And he was like, yeah, but my house is right over there.
Won't you be cold?
Yeah, aren't you cold?
You can stay with me.
The first person who finds us just wants to offer us tea and hospitality.
Nicer amenities.
Yeah.
keeps threatening to rain after a day of pretty consistent on and off rain, more on than
wet.
off. So many goats on the highway. And we saw a couple antique cities, old cities. One of them was described as a mini Cappadocia, and I would say it checks out. It was pretty cool. We
had lunch there. We were able to find a place to eat lunch out of the rain, but only after we were thoroughly soaked.
So there is a road to go around, but it's raining, and the road looks like a long ways out of the way to get to our dry lunch spot. So we're taking the direct route.
We made it. We're making soup. There's a baptismal font right there and some pretty cool rocks. So then we stayed there for a little while. We've been here in Kalistra for like an hour or so, just drying off and exploring, and it's pretty cool.
We also climbed a hill that had been identified as the city of Lystra.
But there wasn't much there because there's too many archaeological sites in Turkey. Like, they haven't all been excavated. There's still unexplored spots.
And then we were kind of motivated to try to make it 40 kilometers into Konya with like 3 hours of daylight left, and we were like, we're gonna push it, and it was gonna be great. Until we followed our GPS track down dirt roads, which are now mud roads. And our fenders became so caked with mud that we just carried our bikes back to a fountain where we could wash off the mud, which I finished up doing while Hillary set up the tent on a nice, actually a really great little campsite. And then we rode our bikes towards the campsite.
And then they got covered in mud again, and again, the wheels don't turn. So we had to carry them up to the campsite. And in the morning, we were going to go back to the same fountain and do the whole thing over again, and then try really hard to get to pavement, or just hope that the ground is drier when it doesn't rain overnight, hopefully.
That GoPro is really dirty.
It's a beautiful day. We're eating our breakfast of muesli. But it's gorgeous outside. Maybe it'll make the roads less muddy. We'll see.
One can hope.
We arrived in Konya with bikes completely caked in mud and walked into a hotel, and they brought us over to this auto park. Two men completely buffed up and shined our bikes to the point where we were telling them it is not necessary, it's just gonna get dirty again. But they look really nice.
We're gonna go for a bike ride without our panniers. Biking through the suburbs of Konya with no panniers. Says it all.
Hey Chris, where are we?
Cave troglodytes for free.
Sille, I think is the name of the town.
Which was a Greek town until the population exchange in the
1922. Oh, like 100 years ago.
Christians were sent to Greece, and Muslims in Greece
were shipped here. So those are paintings. Wow. Join us next time as we finally make it to Cappadocia and a shortcut ends up being a little bit more than we bargained for.